had to turn this into two parts because there's just so much to say concerning the relationship between God, man, with his intercessor, the priest, in delivering wisdom. God, man, using his priesthood, the priest and the priesthood, the priest because it was Aaron, priesthood because it was a generational thing with his sons, even though two of his sons died because of their intent. But there were two other sons that carried on and made great impact. So the priesthood, which speaks of generations, legacy, and Aaron, who set a standard. But so I want to go back to what, and again, we're talking about bearing the burdens of the people. I gotta tell you, in setting a standard. Now, it is the responsibility of all the children of Israel, because God did call us as the children of Israel out for the purpose of being separated as priests. And I want to read that as soon as I can find it, because I forgot where it was. Exodus 19 verse 6, he says, "And ye shall be unto me a kingdom of priests." A kingdom of priests and a holy nation, which is a people group. These the words which thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel. So it's all 12 tribes that are called to transmute the kingdom principles to the people on the earth. However, there are more people than just the 12 tribes. I talked to you about Jacob, who is the father of Israel, or the father of the children of Israel, the founder, if you will. But he had a brother named Esau. All coming out of Shem, but Shem had two brothers as well. They're all blessed, as promised to Abraham. I'll make you a father of many nations. That's one reason why his name went from Abram to Abraham, or Ibrahim. You know, don't get too religious on me. So the idea is that God died for all. So you have the Jews fighting with the Christians and the Jews fighting with the Muslims, and the Muslims fighting with get rid of all that. I have a brother, I said, "You're the tribe of Ephraim." He says, "No, it's Ephraim, whatever." And I'm the tribe of Manasseh. And he said, "No, it's Manasseh." I was like, "Okay, let's argue later." But it doesn't matter. We're all, the idea is to unify all the tribes. It's not done by fighting within factions. like you see in the world. See, you guys are being mesmerized by marketing and media. Even within the Christian community, we got one pit against another, talking about loving God. No, bearing the burden is being the example. It's, as I said in the previous video, Aaron had the burden of carrying the tribes on his shoulders and the breastplate, which had the stone representative, which again talks of legacy. The stones on the breastplate, the heart. Exodus chapter 28, verse 15. And thou shalt make a breastplate of judgment with cunning work. The judgment here is not you're this, you're that. It's the judgment here is right, causes, ordinances, lawfulness, justice. It's standing for something. It's tapping into the legal privileges of something. When the marketing in the world has you thinking, if you open your mouth and say something that's contrary to somebody else, that's based upon the word of God, or you're judging them. That's because they're so engulfed in their own nature. Somebody's got to be willing to stand up for the judgment of God. And that's the job of the priest. If their heart is right, because this talks about the same thing in verse 30, it talks about the condition of your heart. And thou shalt put the breastplate of judgment, the Urim and the Thummim, and they shall be upon Aaron's heart. But if the heart is wrong, you can't lead the people in judgment because you're too busy dealing with your own judgment. You can't be alive and teach someone to be dead. And take on burdens to bring other people into the kingdom. This is all about ushering in the kingdom of heaven, and this is a tough lesson, I understand, because this is not the type of thinking that we take on. We're too busy trying to get houses and cars and boats and more congregants and whatever. But the goal here was to bring the people into Canaan. The children of Israel. Now, don't have time in this video. We'll do it. Maybe we'll do it in another one. But delivering the children into Israel, as we all know, could have been a short journey, but they weren't prepared. Their hearts weren't right. They weren't going in with the right purposes. They were arguing, complaining, murmuring, creating their own calves. A generation had to die off before, the spies could go in. There were relationships that needed to be created with the young lady who had a business on the wall. There were just many things going on. But we are victorious in going in, whether it's you or the generations that are coming behind you. But your heart has to be right. We were going to Canaan to be a solution there as well. We got to get to the place where we're thinking beyond ourselves and we're thinking about the people we're called to. Maybe that's the way I should say it.